Alright, I am always like usually pretty chill when I talk about like where I'd place Moleman and everything like in the skill class, but after this video, after this gameplay, this man is like undoubtedly at minimum a top 3 skill attacker. In my biased opinion, I think he is obviously the best one. He is the one I will always use because even like in Act 9, where these health pools are pretty dang high for story content, he is doing these fights in under 20 seconds. I forgot the exact fight time, but let's see it right here. It is 19 seconds, dude. That is literally impossible with like almost any other champion in this game. Like 20 seconds is unheard of. Under 20 seconds is just foul at that point. That is just absolutely unreal. So yeah, Moleman obviously is like one of the craziest champions for story content, because in story content there are a lot of enhancement nodes, and like the way Moleman works and like his source of damage, he like synergizes insanely well with them and is honestly like usually the best option for skill lanes, like for example this one right here. And one other thing, as you can see, he is just blocking this unblockable like it's nothing, because when you have stand your ground at 3 out of 5, you can block any unblockable attack in the game, and that is shown in this fight and the other two fights. It is insane, right? I think it is his best ability by far, like utility wise at least, because that utility is so hard to come across. Like even these days, like there are some pretty good unblockable counters, but they can't like counter every unblockable like Moleman does, because whether it's a buff, whether it's a passive, whether it's like bubble shield, he does not care. He will just not break his block. It is insane. Now we have this diss track node, and you know, diss track with that knockdown thing sounds very unideal for Moleman, but turns out like even with this fight being, you know, not the best for him, it's still a pretty fast fight because his speed is just that good. And yeah, like as you can see, we're doing 18,000 mediums. The bleed damage is absolutely absurd as well. And this is just like it's just an absolute joke of a fight. It is honestly, it's crazy. And like I run out of words when it comes to describing this character because he is just that powerful. Now we have a showcase of the gentle synergy. And this synergy is pretty game changing for Moleman. It's like a way to somewhat revert him into his pre-nerf self, where like he does have true accuracy and frenzy up at the same time. It's not like a massive duration, it's like 14 seconds, which, you know, is still pretty good, and he can get down a lot of fights in 14 seconds, especially in like the Alliance War type of health pools. But here we also have the True Strike from the node, and yeah, the bleed damage is just insane. Like no special attacks needed. This is just raw 16,000 mediums. Like how much bleed damage? Like 1613 per tick, and we have that on every single hit, every single half second. It just adds up so much. And yeah, that was like a 40-second fight. And keep in mind, this is Act 9.1, the highest story content health pools in the game. It is really crazy stuff, dude. Like it is really crazy stuff. I remember doing like 9.1 with like other characters, and it'd be like a minute, like not even a minute, like about a minute 20, a minute 30 on average, because the health pools are just so dang high. But with Moleman here, it literally feels like Act 6 and like Act 7. It's just that short. It's that easy with this character. So yeah, now we have this Human Torch on the same node, and it's pretty much a wrap already, dude. It was like 34 seconds, I think. So yeah, like I just don't even know what to say at this point. I've always loved this character. I've always praised this character, but I've always been kind of chill with like my assessment of him. Like when it comes to, you know, the usual like rankings and like tier lists and stuff. But after like recording this video and like just doing so many fights in Alliance War with him and just using him like literally everywhere, because he works literally everywhere, I just don't really see a reason for me to like hold back with my assessment of this champion, because I genuinely think that he is like quite possibly I guess I'll be a bit like, you know, be a bit on the safer side, but like I think he is quite possibly the most powerful skill attacker in this game. Then again, there is a bit of a like a bit of a note there. It's if you know what you're doing with this character, and by that I mean like you invest into him properly, because obviously he wants deep wounds, obviously he is a monster with the recoil masteries. The fight time like in some of these matchups would change quite a bit without the recoil masteries, but for the most part, if there is like damage enhancements from like boost in Alliance War, or like, you know, the nodes and story content, the difference between a recoil mastery and a non-recoil mastery Moleman isn't that drastic, but like in a regular, like, you know, general matchup, it is a pretty big difference. And like there is literally zero reason to not run the masteries with this character, especially if he is going to be one of your first rank 4 champions. Then again, I understand if you like just use him without them, because first of all, he is still a very good champion without the recoil masteries, and second, like, you know, you have a whole other roster to think about, right? But then again, if Moleman's one of your highest ranked champions, he can do literally so much for you, if not just everything for you. As a Moleman main myself, he does do everything for me. I take this man everywhere I go, and he does the job perfectly. Like, for example, this is a science lane that he does completely fine, because he just has that damage output, he has that reach, and, you know, not many champions have that reach. And I always get like, you know, if Moleman's versus bleed immune characters, he's bad. I don't think that's the case. I think his damage output does see a bit of a like reduction, obviously, but even in this fight, it's still a very, very quick fight. It's still a very clean fight. And, you know, it is nice to have that damage output, especially in those very scary matchups, but like in general, like in these like random just general matchups, he's honestly just fine taking these bleed immune characters. Like, for example, when Count Nefaria first came out, I was using Moleman as my top option for him, and he worked just fine, because his bleed immunity really like countered Nefaria very well. And as I was talking, he did that fight in 30 something seconds. I think 30 seconds flat. So yeah, man, it is a bit crazy just how powerful this character is. And even though some champions try to stop him, like, you know, Nebula being bleed immune, it just doesn't work because he's just that good, you know? It's a bit crazy. Here, Heimdall has the unblockable SP2. Don't care, because I can block any unblockable attack in the game. And yeah, I dropped the SP2, and this matchup is pretty much done. So yeah, don't know what to tell you, man. I do not know what to tell you. He is just oh boy, he is something else. Now we have some Alliance War gameplay before we get into the 2 or 3 boss fights. I think it's 3. Yeah, it's 3 boss fights. Yeah, here's some Alliance War gameplay. Just like 2 quick fights here, and by quick fights I mean very quick fights, because I have a Power Star 1 boost, I have Champion boost active, I also have the Gentle Synergy to counter her evade with the Intercept, and yeah, it is perfect, because look at this damage output. Like 1 cycle of Ebb and Flow Intercept, and that's it, the fight is done in about 16 seconds. Oh no, 17 seconds, I apologize, shame on me. Now we have this Spider-Punk, same issue with Black Cat. If you try to evade him, he intercepts you. However, with the Gentle Synergy, we get that true accuracy during Frenzy, so it's a very straightforward fight because he can't do anything about our intercepts. But yeah, now I go for the SP2, and yeah, dude, just look at this damage. Like, it is it is genuinely just so silly. And that was a 16-second fight, or 15. It was under 20, and that's like crazy, dude. Now we have this Hulk with what does it have? It has the Blood Drive node, also has Third Law, but Third Law is like whenever you gain an unstoppable or unblockable, they gain it as well, but Moleman with the Blood Drive node very easily counters the unstoppable and like the unblockable. Well, like he counters unblockable at base, right? Because that is, in my opinion, his coolest feature, and it is, I cannot say enough just how overpowered that is, because think about it. Any unblockable attack in this game from any source, just like anything that you can think of that's unblockable, he blocks it. That is insane. That is so crazy, man. And like, I don't think any other champion does it as well as him. So yeah, Moleman, for that reason, and for many other reasons, dude, because just look at this damage output, look at like how easy this champion is to play, look at how powerful this character is, look at this fight time, dude. All these reasons and so many more, plus the fact that it's Moleman, dude. He is the coolest character ever. I just don't know what to say except for he is the best in my opinion, and I'm not gonna feel ashamed for thinking that, because I think the proof is in the pudding. It is in the video. It is in all the other videos I have posted about Moleman, because I post a lot of them, well usually, but you know, just this character, dude. If you don't have him, I am sorry, and I hope that he gets added to the base pool soon, because he needs to be in there. He needs to like be free and like, you know, in people's rosters, because look at this damage output, dude. What is this, man? What is this damage output? And that's it. That's a boss fight. Over 1,000,000 health. In how many seconds? Let's see. It was in 27 seconds. That is not fair. That is not, like, that should not be allowed, dude. That is unreal levels of speed. And yeah, I've already talked about his speed. I've talked about everything there is to know about this character. And I feel like there is still so much to talk about, because he is just that powerful, dude. But yeah, we got this boss fight now. It is the spot boss, and this one is so funny because before he even goes untouchable, he is just not alive at that point. So yeah, that is a classic Moleman moment for sure, because his speed is obviously like off the charts, dude. Here we go back in, we get the debuff immunity off of him and onto us. We go back in, drop the SP2 in just a second, and yeah, this damage output, very good to say the least. Drop the double medium, and he has 5 charges, but the bleed debuffs do their job, and there you go, man. Don't know what else to say. If you enjoyed this video, then yeah, I'm glad you did, and I'm glad that like people do appreciate this champion. When he was first buffed, there was like a mixed bag of reviews and like, is his character even that good? Is Kingpin just better? I feel like now that we like have seen both these characters at their max potential, I'll just say it straight up, this guy is so much better than Kingpin. Dude, Moleman like sometimes feels in a tier of his own because of like just his raw power and speed. And yeah, I think I put that like, I think I showed a good example of that throughout this entire video. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on rank 4 Moleman. If you want to see more rank 4 Moleman gameplay, let me know. I have more plans, and I just want to keep this little hype train going for my favorite champion in the game, dude. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Moleman, and yeah, that's about it for me.